the hypocrisy of the pro-Palestinian movement. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In the past, I spoke about how I got tricked into pro-Palestinian propaganda, and today I want to look a little bit deeper on why the pro-Palestinian movement is wrong and completely hypocritical. As I mentioned before, one of the main organizations behind the pro-Palestinian movement we have now in the West is this organization called Palestine Solidarity Campaign. They originated in the UK in the 1980s, and even though they claim they're non-political, they do have the support or links with Labour politicians, which represents the British left. Now, on the surface, their message looks very honorable, right? You go on their website and the first thing you see is stop Israel's genocide in Gaza. But the reality is these movements completely ignore genocides that are taking place somewhere else in the world. And for starters, what we see, as I mentioned before, happening in Gaza, it was not genocide, because if it would have been, the Israeli military wouldn't have delivered food for the people. And let's not forget that this pro-Palestinian organization refers to Hamas as a non-violent group, even though we know is a terrorist organization targeting civilians. And before I get to the point on why this pro-Palestinian movement are hypocritical, I just want to mention that these people that are protesting on the streets, causing disruption in the UK, they protested even when the war was finished. Why? Because they're not simply satisfied with an end to the war. No, they want to remove the right of the Jewish people of existing in their homeland. Right, so now let's look at the main reason why they're completely hypocritical, and is this. I'm sure you have heard about, and if not, there is a genuine genocide happening in Nigeria now against Nigerian Christians. This information can be found available anywhere online. Even the European Union Parliament recognized that around 17,000 people have lost their lives simply because of their faith. And before anybody asks, well, how do you know this is genuinely happening? Well, this is not a new topic, and if you go online and you do a little bit of research, you find footage, interviews, news articles about this from several different outlets. So let's take a look about what's happening in Nigeria briefly so I can get to the point. I have an excellent PDF here of information I'm going to leave available in the description of this video. But basically what's happening is that in Nigeria, a country where you have a very balanced number of Christians and Muslims, so quite an equal population, 46% of one, 46% of the other, you have the Islamic State persecuting the Christians. As we see here, the previous government failed to prevent an increase in Islamic militant violence, much of which takes place in the north, in the form of attacks by Boko Haram and their now more powerful split Islamic State in West Africa province. So Christians in Nigeria are experiencing this persecution because of their faith, especially in states where Sharia law operates. Christians with a Muslim background also face rejection from their own families, pressure to give up Christianity, and often physical violence. This is now, according to this report, spreading to the southern states. This is happening because of this radical, as they're called, radical Islamic organizations that have installed themselves in the country and are now leading this persecution. And let's remember, countries like the UK are now slowly starting to integrate things like Sharia law in some of their courts. Now, why this is hypocritical? Because not only the people who are part of the pro-Palestinian movement don't care at all when Christians are persecuted, but also because one of the main news channels of the pro-Palestinian side, which is Al Jazeera, published this. In October 2025, they released an article saying that no, there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Interesting. And then they call these genocide claims propaganda and misinformation. One of the paragraphs here states that this is misinformation aimed at making Nigeria look bad, but especially undermining the gravity of the situation in Gaza. Somehow, Al Jazeera is trying to make it seem that if you care about Christians being persecuted in Nigeria, then you're undermining the importance of Gaza, because apparently to them, that's the only genocide that matters. This, to me, is further proof that the pro-Palestinian movement is not a movement that cares about human rights and want to stop evil things being done to people. No, this is a movement that was created, that is politically based, with the goal of stopping Jewish people of having their own state. And this is now spread all over the West because it is not enough for them to cause disruption in Israel, but also to cause disruption in other countries where Jewish people live, as we're seeing with the terror attack here in Manchester. It is absolutely disgusting that Al Jazeera calls this propaganda and misinformation. So Make sure you always pay attention on which news outlets you're getting informed. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Please don't forget to leave a comment with your opinion and thoughts about this, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you and have all a great day.